right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh by Shem Shai by Shem Hawakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who teach well. And I want to say shalom to the hopeful elect. All right, it's your brother Karat Desire back with another lesson. And I'm going to get right into it. This is speaking about, this is Isaiah 35, right? And if you read it, it's speaking about how Israel is going to be restored, the land, okay, and the people are going to be restored there, and there's going to be a way of righteousness, and the men of the Lord that are redeemed here is going to be able to walk on that path of righteousness, okay. So let's jump into it and get started at verse 8. This is Isaiah 35 and 8. And a highway shall be there, and a way, and it shall be called the way of holiness. Now let's look that up in the blue letter, the way of holiness. Let's see what it says. All right, it says here. Kadash, that's the word in the Hebrew. All right, let me see. I'm trying to see in that highway of holiness. Let's look at the word highway first. Okay, highway. We know what a highway is. Highway is just like a straight road, right? A highway. Get on the highways with your car or whatever, right? It says there's a thoroughfare. All right, turnpike, the highway. That's what a highway is. All right. Let's see what they say in. It says a public road, a great road. Okay. All right. So let's look at what it says for holiness. All right. The word is kadash. All right, and it says apartness, holiness, sacredness, separateness. Okay, that shows the Lord. He separates things. Okay. All right. And apartness, sacredness, holiness of the Most High, of places, of things. Set apartness, separatedness. Okay. So the the highway that the elect are going to be walking on is a way of separateness from the ways. Uh, I'm gonna say of the world in the sense that the way we're walking in now. All right. But within the kingdom is going to be the only way that the Lord wants us to walk, and it's going to be righteousness. And this makes me think of Jeremiah 31. I'm just quoted Shalom. All right, well, I'm just quoted where we'll have the law, statute, commandments in our inward parts, and we're going to be separated from these other nations because the other nations are going to try to walk uprightly, but they're not going to do so. And he's arguing there's no uprightness for you at all. Okay. It says, continuing on in verse 8, is Isaiah 34 and 8. It says, the unclean shall not pass over it, but it shall be for those the wayfaring men, though fools shall not enter therein. All right, let's look at the word wayfaring. And in my footnotes, it says, they who walk the road. All right. And there's a road that we must walk too. It's the straight gate. All right. And that's a difficult position. All right. To walk in. All right. So the word wayfair is halak. And it says to walk, to go, to traverse, to walk about, to walk along. All right, it says literally and figuratively along a pace, behave self, continually, be conversant, depart, be erased, maybe ease, salakia, enter, exercise self, follow forth. All right, so the way that we're going to be following, all right, is the way of righteousness. We're going to be exercising righteousness, all right. But it says here the wicked, all right, well, it says the unclean, which we know unclean is anything that's contrary to Yahweh Shema Shai, they're not going to walk therein, all right. And let's give it some examples of wickedness in the world. Let's start off with the so-called white man. He's wicked, all right? His ways is wicked. They're contrary to Yahweh Shem Shai, so he's not going to walk that way, all right? And it says, no lion shall be there, nor any ravenous beast shall go up thereon. It shall not be found there, but the redeemed shall walk there, okay? The ones that the Lord is going to save, okay? The ones that the Lord has set up that's been predestined to be saved. Those are the ones that's going to walk there, the ones that's written in the book of life, okay? All right? And the ransom of Yahweh Shema Shai shall return and come to Zion with songs and everlasting joy upon their heads. They shall obtain joy and gladness, and sorrow and sighing shall flee away. And that's how you know we're going to be in the kingdom, because there's going to be no more pain, no more sorrow, okay? No more crying, no more wondering. We're going to understand everything, okay? Um, but let's get into some precepts. Let's go to Joel, the 3rd chapter. And it's Joel chapter 3, and verse 17. So ye shall know that I am Yahweh your power, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no strangers pass through her anymore. All right, any strangers in my footnotes, it says aliens. All right, so who were the strangers or aliens that passed through the land of Israel? Look who's over there in this present time. You got Amalekites over there, you got Edomites over there, which are the same. Okay, you got uh, all kind of ridiculous nonsense going on over there. Okay, all right, and with the people that's over there, they're aliens, they're strangers to that land, because the Lord gave every nation their portion of land. But when we sinned and went off against the Lord had other nations come and invade us and take us out of that land. Okay, that's what happens when we transgress the ways of the Lord. And look at us now, because we have transgressed the ways of the Lord. We are at the lowest state that we could possibly be on, under the basest man. Okay. All right. So this is let me go to um, let me go to Revelations. Oh no, let me go to speaks, because I was speaking about being under the basest man. All right. Let me go to Daniel right quick. Then we'll go to Hebrews. All right. Um, this is Daniel chapter 4, verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. That's very important. We have to understand and remember that the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, is in rulership, okay? Regardless of what it is that we see, all right? We have to know and understand that the Lord is ruling over all, okay? And all right, so it says that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it unto whomever he will, and set it up over it the basis of men. All right, and who's ruling right now? All right, you saw the most base man. Okay, and what does it say here? And it says for basis, it says lowest. Okay, so we are under the rulership. All right, of the lowest man. All right, I'm gonna just Google what base means. All right, this is what it says. It says the definition of basis is having the least moral and being of the lowest class. An example of the basis is used as an adjective in the phrase the basic character in the play, which means the most corrupt character in the play. All right, that's speaking on Esau, man. Okay, Shalom Maki Habashima Shabakata. All right, so we are under the basis man, which is saying that he has no values, okay? All right, and he's the most corrupt character in the play. All right, that's what Esau is. All right, all right. It says base. The bottom support on that with something stands. All right. Let's see. I got so many definitions on this damn. All right, I'm gonna just read what it says here. All right, in the free dictionary, let me see if I can find it. It got so many definitions for base. But nonetheless, this base man, okay, this unclean man, all right, will not be accepted in the kingdom. That's the whole point of this lesson. All right, I can't find it. Let me do this. I'm good on that. So the basis man is Esau. All right, he has very low moral values. All right, he's the most corrupt character. All right, he's unclean. All right, he's a stranger. And he's not gonna make it into the kingdom. All right, he's not gonna be walking on the highway of holiness, like it said in Isaiah 35th chapter. All right, this is Hebrews 11. I mean, no, Hebrews 12 and 16. It says, "Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright." All right, so and to be profane, it means to be outside of the temple. All right, and we're gonna get that in the blue letter here in a second. Right here it says godless. Okay, that's how Esau is. Okay, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected, for he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. So Esau Edom has been rejected. All right. So no matter what it is that he says and or what he does, he's never going to receive that salvation that we're going to get. He's never going to be able to walk on the highway of holiness like we are. All right. We're going to have the law, statutes, commandments in our inward parts, and that's going to keep us separate from these other nations. These other nations are going to try to emulate the ways of the Lord by learning, but they're never going to keep them right. Okay. But Esau, there's no hope and no salvation for you. Okay. Let me go to Revelation 7, because the ones that the Lord redeemed, okay, are the ones that's written of in Revelation 7. All right. Because in Isaiah 35 it says the redeemed shall walk there also. All right. Let me go back. Yep, and it says, so like it says, and let me read it. This is Isaiah 35 and 10. And the ransom of Yahweh shall return and come to Zion with songs and everlasting joy upon their heads, and they shall obtain joy and gladness, and sorrow and singing and sighing shall flee away. Salaki. All right. And here goes the redeemed, man. All right. This is in Revelation 7, and this is verse 1. And after these things, I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw, and that those winds are representative of the destructive, those destructive winds are representative of those ICBM missiles. All right. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power, and he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, "Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads." Okay. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and and they were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. So those are who are going to be redeemed. Okay, all right, that's who the Lord's redeeming. All right, and then it goes through the 12 tribes. Okay, all right, that's. Then we're gonna go to verse 9. It says, "And after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and of kindreds and of people and of tongues, stood before the Lamb, which is Yahushua, clothed with robes and palms in their hands, and cried with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our power, which sitteth upon the throne and upon the Lamb." Okay, and these are the 1/3, man. Okay, that's going to be saved. These are the ones that are redeemed. These are the ones that will be able to walk on the highway of holiness, man. All right, through the mercies of the Lord. Okay. All right, let me go to Revelation 21, and this is Revelation 21 and 27. It says, "And there shall in no wise enter it." Let me go up. All right, this is talking about the New Jerusalem. All right. All right, this is Revelation chapter 22 and verse 21 and 22. "And I saw no temple therein, and for Yahweh, power almighty, and the Lamb, which is Yahushua, are the temple of it. And the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon to shine in it, for the glory of the Most High did lighten it, and the Lamb is the light thereof. And the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it, and the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor into it." All right. It says, "And the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no night there. And they shall bring the glory and honor of the nations into it. And there shall in no wise enter into it anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh abomination, or maketh a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life." So there's no redemption for you Edomites, man. All right, because you work at the abomination, you making forth the lie. All right, and you defile, man. All right, you defile by lying. You defile by taking over people's heritages. Okay, you defile by stealing the land from the people. You defile just because that's who you are, man. You're a profane person. And I'm gonna get that word profane. And the brother got up here, Psalm 65:4. Brother I'm Ra, down here in San Antonio. He got Psalm 65:4. It says, "Blessed is the man whom thou choosest and causes to approach." I can't even read that. Let me. I'm gonna pull it up, brother, because I can barely see it. Salaki. Yeah, Psalm. All right, cool. I got it. This is Psalm 64:5. All right, "Blessed is the man whom thou choosest and causes to approach unto thee, that he may dwell in thy courts. We shall be satisfied with the goodness of thy house, even thy holy temple." And hey, blessed those men, all right? And those men are going to be the men, all right, of the elect, man. And those men are they was chosen from the foundations of the earth, man. And they're going to be happy in the Lord's temple, man. All right, because again, let's go into Revelation right quick. This is Revelation chapter 21 and verse, I'm going to get straight to the point, verse 4. "And Yahweh shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away." All right. I'm gonna read 5. "And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful." All right. So these things that the Lord Yahweh Shai has prescribed to come, all right, which is what the brother put up there, Psalm 65:4. All right, those individuals that are chosen, all right, because the Lord chosen from the foundations of the earth, they're going to be happy. They're going to be in joy, man. They're going to be singing unto the Lord. And the Lord will, that brother, so am I, and all you brothers and sisters that follow the Lord, y'all watch him outshine faithfully. The Lord will, y'all be written in that book so y'all may walk on the path, on the highway of holiness, man. But the whole point is showing that that highway of holiness, the kingdom, all right, is only for the elect, man. It's only for the nation of Israel, okay? The elect is going to get redeemed out of here, okay? And the elect are spread through the four corners of the earth, so they're going to look like other nations, okay? And the Lord's going to redeem them because the Lord knows who his elect are, man, okay? So the ones that's not going to walk on that highway of holiness is Esau because he's profane. So let's look up this word profane right quick. Because we know it means godless, okay? All right, so it says profane in Google. It says relate. This is going back to Hebrews 12 and 16. All right, it says relating or devoted to that which is not sacred or biblical. And Esau does that, man. All right, not respectful of uh, orthodox religious practice. All right, irreverent. Okay. Uh, it says treat something sacred with irreverence or disrespect, and that's how Esau Edom does. He treats the Lord with disrespect, man. Um, let's go get it in the blue letter, and that's just Esau Edom's a godless based man. Okay, so he's not going to be able to partake in the things which we are going to partake in. He's going to partake in death. All right, because that's all he knows. That's all he is death. This is profane in the blue letter. It says biblios. All right, accessible, lawful to be trodden down to places. Okay, all right. It says profane, unhallowed, uh, of men ungodly. Okay, and that's Esau. All right. It says heathenish, wicked. Okay, and that's what Esau Edom is. All right, profane. He's a heathen. He's wicked. So I think I drove in a point with that. All right. Let me see. Was there any other precepts? No, I think that's about it. Let me get this First Peter because this is going just walking in the ways because the Lord's gonna put the law, statute, commandments in our inward parts. So we're gonna be holy like the Lord. So this is First Peter chapter 1 and verse 15. But as he which hath called you is holy, so be ye holy in all manner of conversation. And that word conversation goes into your conduct, and we're gonna be holy in our conduct. Yep, that's right, brother. Esau Edom is the basis of man. um, so that word conversation goes into your conduct, how you should be acting, all right? And the way we're going to be acting in the kingdom, we're going to have the law, statute, commandments on our inward parts, and we'll be holy and separate from the people of these other nations, okay? All right, and we're going to be holy. At verse 16, it says, because it is written, be ye holy, for I am holy. So we're only going to get to be holy when the Lord puts the law, statute, commandments in our inward parts. All right, these other nations, they're never going to be holy. They're never going to be separated. Separated in the sense of their conduct. All right, but they're going to be separated from us because of our conduct is going to be different from theirs. Okay. So Lord will you edify, and Lord will you understand that there's no salvation for Esau. He's not going to be redeemed or saved. And those individuals that may look like the other nations, okay, and they get beamed up for whatever uh, from whatever portion of the land that they live in. When I say land, I mean the whole world. Okay, they get beamed up. They're Israelites. Okay, all right, because there's no other nation that's going to be able to walk in the ways of holiness because the scripture just said it. All right, so Lord Williams edify, we give all praise and honor and glory unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai by Hashem Hawakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who will teach well. And I want to say shalom to the hopeful elect. Kwam Yasharal, Mawafla Ba. Shalom, Mark, the wife for being here, the wife for posting those precepts. Yabashim al Shabashim Karkash Bakatham, Shalom.